What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. In today's video, as you can see from the title, we are going to be ranking League of Ireland Premier Division managers from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst and 1 being the best in my opinion as of right now. I've looked at some criteria to help me with this decision as it wasn't easy. A couple of things I looked at was the silverware they've won as a manager. The second one being how players kind of develop while playing for them. The third one is a huge one, also the resources that are available to that club that they manage. And then the fourth one is kind of like their personality. Does that do them any favours in terms of the ranking of this list? If we can hit 50 likes on this video, it is greatly appreciated. If you can, smash the like button down below. It always does help us out. I really do appreciate it, guys. So I think I'm just going to jump straight into it. In 10th place for me, the worst League of Ireland manager right now is Kevin Sheedy of Waterford. Now this could be, it's harsh, I don't want to say this like too soon because he hasn't really got going yet, he hasn't got a chance, but looking at his managerial experience, I believe he had in 2001 he was briefly caretaker manager of Tranmere Rovers, and his only other experience apart from that as a manager or as a coach even was working with youth players in, I think, Saudi Arabia. That's his only coaching experience. So yeah, for me as of right now, Kevin Sheedy is the worst manager in the League of Ireland. In 9th place I have gone with Stephen O'Donnell of St. Pat's. Now this might seem a little bit harsh, but for me he's been pretty bang average since coming in. St. Pat's haven't really gone backwards, haven't really gone forwards too much at all under his tenure. They've kind of, he started to lay the foundations a little bit, so I think this season will be a big season for Stephen O'Donnell. He's still only 35, so if he has a good season this year, he could shoot right up this table, but for right now he's 9th in my list. In 8th place I have gone with Darren Doyle of Longford Town. He was Neil Fenn's assistant at Longford before he left for Cork City, so his first full season in charge was when they finished 4th in the league, but he did also navigate them through the playoffs and got them promoted to the Premier Division. An absolutely a massive achievement for Longford Town and for Darren Doyle. In 8th place, still a young manager, could grow into a top Irish manager in the future, still young as I said. So yeah, for me as of right now he's 8th, but that could easily change in the next couple of years. In 7th I've gone with Tim Clancy of Drogheda United. He narrowly missed out on promotion in 2018 and 2019. They're both kind of unlucky in both years. I think they had to play off against Finn Harps 2019, so they have been unlucky throughout those two seasons, but in 2020 Drogheda were fantastic. Like a few others on this list mentioned already, he's still so young at 36 years of age, so he's loads of potential to be a top class young Irish manager as well. And I've been so impressed with his recruitment ahead of the 2021 season. Just look at the likes of Dinny Corcoran, Dane Massey, Gary Deegan, Darren Markey, top Premier Division players, and I'm really excited to see how Drogheda get on in 2021. In 6th I have gone with Ollie Horan. Now I think this might be a little bit harsh. I put him here, I want to kind of put him nearly higher up on the list due to the resources that he has available to him. I do love his personality. He's so honest about everything. He says before every season that he just wants to stay up with Finn Harps, and that is the goal every campaign. Since taking over 2013 they have been a little bit of a yo-yo club, but last season huge achievement to finish 8th in the league ahead of Shelbourne and Cork City. They can really take this season as one to try and establish themselves as a Premier Division side, and if they can do that, Ollie Horan just goes gradually up this list. I'm a really big fan of Ollie Horan and I wanted to put him higher on the list, but I think 6 is probably fair. People may disagree with me on this one, but in 5th place I have gone with Filippo Giovagnoli. He came in to Dundalk during the 2020 campaign. His history before that is well documented in terms of it being a summer camp coach in America and Italy, and I think you could say he had a new manager type bounce kind of impact when he first arrived at Dundalk. They did eventually labour to like a 3rd place finish, but you can only take their league form with a pinch of salt because they did put nearly everything into the Europa League campaign and to the FAI Cup as well. You have to say that they did get a lot of luck along the way in both competitions. Playing Athlone Town in the semi-final of an FAI Cup is an extremely favourable draw, there's no two ways about it. And then in the Europa League they did face a Andorran side, a Moldovan side and a Faroese side en route to the group stage of the Europa League. I don't think any manager has ever got such a nice road from an Irish team has ever got such a nice route to the group stage of the Europa League. But you can take nothing away from him. I'm not trying to be an arsehole about it. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. I'm not trying to take the achievements away from him. They did go and beat Shamrock Rovers in the FAI Cup final. He did get a spot on the day in terms of tactically. I thought Dundalk were probably the better side and deserved to win the game as well. I do think I need to see more of him before feeling comfortable putting him higher on this list. I think 2021 will be a big tell and he could go right to the top of this list or shoot to the bottom. In fourth place, I have gone with Declan Devine. He did spend time working under Stephen Kenny before becoming a manager himself. He worked with Stephen Kenny at Derry, and he went over to Dunfermline with Kenny as well. Declan Devine ended up actually eventually getting the Derry City job himself, and he actually won the FAI Cup in his first year in charge, a very good achievement, something good for his CV, and then eventually got sacked the season after despite qualifying for the Europa League, which I feel is always quite harsh, to be honest. Derry, potentially recognising their error in judgment, rehired Declan Devine in 2019, and he did guide Derry to a 4th place finish, which got them a Europa League spot. Heavily documented what went on last season. It was a weird year. It was kind of a half season, a difficult one to judge him on. He did end up 7th in the league, which is of course utterly disappointing from a Derry point of view. They need to be higher up the league table than that. But I do think last season with COVID and stuff, he deserves a pass. I think he's a good manager, and I'm excited to see Derry in 2021. So for me, I think Declan Devine definitely deserves his 4th place spot. In 3rd place, we do have Stephen Bradley. Now, Shamrock Rovers fans may not be happy with that, but listen, he came in 2016 and he had loads of resources behind him. For the first couple of years, it was kind of unacceptable. Their league positioning wasn't great. They weren't winning the FAI Cup or anything, and then Jack Byrne signed for the club, and the Jack Byrne effect had a huge impact on Stephen Bradley's reputation. We had Shamrock Rovers fans on the show saying Bradley out for a good while. Do you remember the run they went on in the Dublin derbies where they lost? I think only won 1 from 9 or something like that. Really bad run in the Dublin derby. And then I think they had other players like Aaron McAnuff coming in and a couple of other really good signings. In fairness to Bradley, he was good in his recruitment, and he has to be given credit for that. But the resources behind Bradley can't be denied. He's had more than anyone else in the league, bar maybe Dundalk. He's had so much power in the transfer market, even to get the likes of Gary O'Neill in, Liam Scales in, Neil Ferrugia in, top League of Ireland young players. I think that's probably the reason why Stephen Bradley is 3rd for me. He won the FAI Cup in 2019, great achievement. Won the league in 2020, so that definitely has him in 3rd place. I think 3rd place is probably fair for right now, and I think 2021 is going to be a big test of his managerial ability. He's still been able to bring in good players, Sean Gannon, Sean Hoare, Chris McCann, top players for the League of Ireland, but the losses of Jack Byrne and Aaron McAnuff will be huge for him. He can't rely on them anymore, so that's going to be a big test of his managerial ability. So we'll see where he ranks on this list before the start of next season. I think that'll be probably a fair estimation when we know more about his abilities. In 2nd place, we've gone with Liam Buckley of Sligo Rovers. Now, the silverware criteria pushes him up on this list. He's won 2 league titles, 2 FAI Cups, I think it's 2 League of Ireland Cups, among a whole host of other kind of smaller trophies as well. And he's been a fantastic manager in the League of Ireland for a decade or two now. So yeah, he's a really good manager, and I like what he's doing with this Sligo side as well currently. Obviously finishing 4th in the season last year was a good return from them, especially the way they were before the COVID break. We pulled it back really superbly, and I like the way they're lining up for next season. Walter Figueroa and Romeo Parks up front, that's going to be something special, you feel. So yeah, I'm excited to see Sligo next season. The additions of Greg Bulger and Robbie McCourt are just kind of shrewd pieces of business that I do really like, and they're going to strengthen the squad overall, especially with the Europa League campaign for them next season as well. So I'm excited to see Sligo Rovers next season, and for me, Liam Buckley is deserving of 2nd place in this list. In 1st place, I have gone with Keith Long. Now, people can make an argument here and say that he hasn't really won trophies, but for me, it's just a matter of time with this Bohemian side that he keeps kind of reinventing year on year, because the resources that he has available to him compared to the other top sides isn't as much. He's constantly losing his top players year in year out, and he's constantly having to reinvent his side and bring in nearly 6-7 players for the starting 11 every year, which is so difficult to maintain. But the fact Bows have trusted him with a 4-year contract, you just don't see that in the League of Ireland, the 4-year deal. The fact Bows feel comfortable doing that says all you need to know from me. And yeah, I think if I had to pick one manager in the League of Ireland to manage my club, I think I'd go with Keith Long. I think he is the best manager in the League of Ireland right now. Well guys, there you have it, my 1 to 10 in the Premier Division of the League of Ireland in terms of managers, from the best to the worst. What did you make of my list? Let me know down in the comments below, and also let me know your 1 to 10 in the League of Ireland. Where did I go wrong and right? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Really appreciate it if you could smash the like button down below. If you can hit 50 likes, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you don't mind subscribing as well, we're on the road to 3k. That's the aim. Thanks for watching guys, really appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you're all well, and I will see you in the next video.